Assalamualaikum everyone. I'm Dr. Samreen and currently working as the Assistant Professor at Department of Chemistry, GC University, Faisalabad. I would like to thank the organizing committee of ICAZ-2021 for providing me this opportunity to share my work at 4th International Conference on Applied Zoology 2021. So today the topic of my presentation is synthesis, antibacterial and hemolytic activity of N,4,4-morpholinyl phenyl 2,5-disubstituted 1,3,4-oxidizole 2-thioacetamides. In my topic, I have mentioned two heterocycles. One is morpholin. It is a 6-membered heterocyclic ring containing two functional groups. One is ether and the other one is amine. Morpholin is found to have very good biological activities, like it is part of different already available medicines in market, like linezolid, it is an antibiotic drug, gefitinib, it is an anti-cancer drug, dextromoramide, and an analgesic. Morpholin is found its application in agriculture as a fruit coating as well as a fungicide. The other heterocycle was oxidizole that I mentioned in my topic. Oxidizole is a 5-membered heterocyclic ring containing 2 nitrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Depending upon the position of these 2 nitrogen atoms, this oxidizole has its 4 isomers: 1,2,3 oxidizole, 1,2,4, 1,2,5, and 1,3,4. Depending upon the position of this 2 nitrogen atoms, this 1,3,4 oxidizole have been reported to have significant activities like anti-inflammatory, anti-enzyme, antiviral, antifungal, anti-cancer, antioxidant, etc. Here are some drugs available in market having oxidizole moiety common in them, like raltegravir, it is an antiretroviral drug, zibotin 10, an anti-cancer agent, oxadiazone, a herbicide, and metoxadiazole, a pesticide. Pakistan is a developing country and drugs are in a process of development. So the main intention of my work was to design and synthesize a novel series of polyfunctional molecules having morpholin, oxidizole, and acetamide moieties together in one skeleton. It was also speculated that these moieties together in one skeleton will boost up the biological activity of molecule. Here is overall plan of my work. My work consists of 3 steps. First was synthetic, the second was characterization, and the third one was biological screening. For structural elucidation, I have used these 3 techniques. Here is overall scheme of my work. I took different organic acids and they were converted into their respective oxidazoles through different steps. And then in this way, I prepared a series of different oxidazoles. And I have chosen these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 morpholin bearing different compounds. And then when they were reacted with oxidazoles, they gave their different substituted respective polyfunctional molecules having oxidizole as well as morpholin moieties together in one skeleton. In scheme 2, I choose 4,4-morpholinite phenylacetamide. For scheme 3, I have chosen 2,4-morpholinite. Here at this position, it is at position 2, 2,4-morpholinite phenylacetamides. For next scheme, I have chosen the 2,5 substituted 1,3,4, 4,4-morpholinite phenylacetamide. And then I have chosen this simple morpholin. And for last scheme, I selected 2-thioethyl morpholin. Here is scheme for synthesis of oxidizole from its respective acid. Acid was reacted with sulfuric acid in the presence of ethanol. And then they were converted into the respective ester. Then ester were converted into the respective hydroxides in the presence of hydrazine hydrate. And hydrazide were finally cyclized into their respective oxadiazoles by reacting with potassium hydroxide and carbon disulfide. I have mentioned all the reaction conditions and reagents here. Here are different pi substituted aryl or alkyl group of 1,4-oxidizole 2-thiols. Then I chose 4,4-morpholenyl benzamine, and it was reacted with bromoacetyl bromide to give an electrophile, that is 2-bromo and 4,4-morpholenyl phenyl acetamide in the presence of sodium carbonate. Is the proton NMR of the electrophile. In the aromatic region, we can see as these two protons have same environment, so they give a doublet at 7.31, while these two protons that are adjacent to morpholine, they give a doublet at 6.76. While signal for these methylene groups appear in the aliphatic region. Here you can see at 3.8 and 3.7. I have merged actually two different NMR spectra in the aliphatic region and in the aromatic region. Then the electrophile was reacted with series of 5 substituted 1,4-oxadiazole 2-thiol to give its respective 4,4-morpholenyl phenyl 2,5-disubstituted 1,4-oxadiazole acetamides. One of the compound is here. It was obtained as white amorphous solid, having melting point from 224 to 226 degrees Celsius. Here is its IR. It's the NMR of the compound. Is the mass fragmentation data of the compound. In the mass spectrum, you can see molecular ion peak at 410, while other fragment ion peaks appear at different values. Base peak was appeared at 204. So this mass spectra confirm the formation of our final derivative. Here is proton NMR of the another compound. In the aliphatic region, we can see clear peaks. Peak for this methylene appeared at 4.3. While signal peaks for these protons appear as a multiplet, for this proton appear as a triplet. In the aromatic region, signal for these two protons appear as a doublet at 7.88, while signal for these two protons appear at 7.12. Signal for this proton attached with nitrogen is highly deshielded. It appears at a value 9.55. Then the next reagent was morpholine. It was reacted with 4-bromomethylbenzene sulfonate chloride to give 4,4-bromomethyl phenyl sulfonate morpholine in the presence of sodium carbonate. Is the proton NMR of the electrophile. In the aromatic region, signal appear as a doublet for this proton, while this proton also shows a doublet. And it's the aliphatic region. In aliphatic region, signal for methylene groups present in morpholine appear as a triplet with different G values. Then this electrophile was reacted with a series of different 1,4-oxadiazole to give its respective 5 substituted 1,3,4-oxadiazole to 4-morpholynyl sulfonyl benzyl sulfite. One of the compound was obtained as off-white or amorphous solid in 78% yield, having melting point 162 to 164 degrees Celsius. Is the proton NMR of the compound. So from all spectral elucidation, it was confirmed the synthesis of single and pure derivatives. After successful characterization, compound were also checked for their antimicrobial activity against different bacterial as well as fungal strains, and compound 6D and 6I were found to have very good antibacterial activity as well as antifungal activity. Compound were also checked for their hemolytic activity using tridone as a standard, and compound 6H was found to have minimum cytotoxicity. So we conclude that we have prepared a novel series of different oxidizole derivatives having morpholine as well as oxidizole moieties together in one sentence, and compound 6D and 6L were remain the best inhibitor against all selected bacterial as well as fungal strains. Compound 6H shows very low toxicity relative to trisitol employed as a reference drug. In addition to low toxicity and moderate good thrombolytic activity, the synthesized compound possesses excellent to moderate antibacterial activity relative to ciprofloxacin using as a standard drug. So all compounds could be considered for further clinical studies and might be helpful in synthesis of new drug for treatment of different diseases. Further modification may produce better results. That these candidates may be new drug candidates. Thank you for your attention.